is Carly S. from Creatives Leben, and today I would like to do a flip through my little art journal called Faces. It's not very big, as you can see. It's about 10 centimeters of 10 centimeters. Actually, it's an altered calendar from 2016. I received this from, I don't know, from an office supply, and it was a table calendar, and I just cut off what was looking out and it became my little art journal. It's a mixed media art journal with faces in it. I practiced, so I tried different media, different backgrounds, and this is what you will discover. So I have started, and basically, as you can see, I gave each of my faces names, and I used the alphabet, basically having A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. So this is Anaïs. It's art folk type of girl. This is Burned, only black and white, or only black. Basically, I used a micron pen to draw him. I had a model in this case, whereas here I just made it up based on my mind. And as you can see here, because the background is very strong, you can't see him very well. So this is also something that I would do differently next time. Here I tried to use my color pencil to draw Cecilia, but because the background was very strong, you can't see her very well. Obviously, colored pencil don't work very well on gesso, so she came out quite well, but you can't see her very well. Dirty, on the other hand, is very simple, only with a black pen. I think I used a Sharpie, a black Sharpie, to draw her, and I just wanted to have very simple features, her eye, basically half of her face. So this is something that I did specially here, different to the other faces. Here we have two different types. I wanted to vary age, gender, race, obviously. And Emilia, she's a very fair lady with green eyes, maybe from Ireland. Her name is more Italian, and this is Fabrizio, also a very Italian name. He is more like a cartoon person, where her face I have tried to make as realistic as possible. And here you can even see the calendar popping through, but this is what is nice about an altered book, or an altered calendar in my case. So the next one, again, I did a very strong background. I used stamps. I used a stamp border that I have created, homemade, and I have tried to paint Gerda. I think Gerda was painted with acrylic, yes, and here I used a black Sharpie again, and here her hair I have made with gelatos. So here again, very different type. She's wearing glasses and a bun, where Helen, this is Gerda, Helen has her hair open. This is very different. So this is Julia and Jamal. Julia is an attempt to have a very simple face. It's if you know the stencil of Donna, she uses she basically has only the main features appearing. So this is what I try to do. It's not very, I don't like it very much, to be honest, but you know, this is my practice book. Jamal, on the other hand, I really liked how he came out. A lot of texture. I don't know if you can see this. You can see here the acrylic. The background is you can see the background a little bit, but it's still, you can recognize the face, and I really like how he has come up. Then I used charcoal to draw Kilin. Here again, very simple, a little bit of folk art type again, with big eyes. And here on the other hand, for Liam, so this is a little boy, I don't know if you can see him, I have tried to scratch him into the colors. So I put some acrylic on acrylic paint, and then I took a very fine point and scratch it while it was still wet, and this is doily that is appearing. And I even tried to scratch his name, but that's probably not such a good idea because you can't see it anymore. Then for Manuela, I tried to do something different. For me, it's not too difficult to draw faces from the front, but the profile is very difficult. So I used another doily to create the coat of Manuela, but I wanted just to show a profile. And yeah, I'm not sure I like her very much, but again, I'm practicing. On the other hand, Nana, I decided just to use gold, gel pen to do that. And the great thing about gel pens is that you can write on top of everything almost, on top of paint. And what I've tried to do with Nana, which I found very difficult, is having a smiling face. So when you see the teeth, I think that people, when you show their teeth, it looks just... I can't draw teeth, so I wanted to practice, obviously. I'm not quite sure it's something to be proud of, but, you know, practicing, as I said. Here I did two different types of women, so Olivia and Pooh. In both cases I used structured paste, golden structured paste. I love everything that is glitter and golden. And in one case, in Olivia's case, the structured paste is her hair, whereas in Pooh's case, it's like a kind of hat she's wearing. Here I have used again acrylic paint, whereas here I've tried to use water paint, watercolors, and that's why it's more difficult to get onto the gesso. I mean, it worked, as you can see her features, you can recognize her, but it is not as even as it is, for example, here for the acrylic paint. Then I've tried something very different. I have used some markers for Rosa, as you can see, and I've tried to use some violet, purple, and I like the way her hair has come out. But here again, as you can see, I've tried not to do it from the front, but more with her head tilted a little bit more to the left. And well, that's just more difficult. That's something I found more difficult. And I doodled around and just to make it a little bit different. And Steve, as you can see, he is an abstract guy, I would say, very abstract, very simple, and still you can recognize him. I found him very funny. I like how he came out, but compared to Rosa, a very different type. Then I think this one is probably my favorite one. I'm not sure how well you can see it. Basically, for the background, I cut out of magazines faces from different people, different ages, different genders, different races, and then I put gesso on top of it, and then I took a pencil, and I drew the face of a little girl or boy, because you can see I called him or her Theo, Thea, because I think he could be both, and because basically what I was trying to show is that a kid could become any kind of person, and we can recognize ourselves in kids, and probably we should keep our childish playfulness as well. So this is Theo Tia, and I really liked how this little child has turned out. Ulrich is a different story. I have taken tissue paper in the background, so it's more playful. It's yeah, I took some Posca pens here in blue and pink to have some color beside the black, and the rest is basically a marker that I've chosen. Here, this is Volker, a very German name. Here, the exercise for me was to draw a face without taking my pen away, so in one line, so to say. So I started, and you can see I went here to draw the eyes, and I continued to draw the nose, and I went here to draw the mouth. And so the objective was really just to keep the pen on the paper. Then I have this lady Waltraud. Basically, Waltraud was taken out of an old book, actually, and the reason I draw her, as you might have reckoned, is I wanted to have somebody with a profile, and I think she came out better than the first profile that I did earlier. So here, for Roxana, I think I've missed one letter. It's Y? No, it's not Y. Yeah, I missed one letter. I think it's Y. I could have taken Y. I don't know why I didn't want Y. So I went directly to Xena, and here I took two colors, a very dark red, purplish, and a very dark blue. And I just used those two colors to paint Xena. So I wrote her name in red, and the hair has both colors, and I like how it turned out. It's different, but very nice. So this one is also watercolor, and if you remember Pooh, so the Asian lady, the color was very faint. So the difference to the previous one is that here I came back a multitude of times. So the first time the watercolor doesn't sink in, it's not well absorbed, or the gesso doesn't accept the watercolor. But if you put layer on top of the layer, the color sticks better to the background. So that's what happened. Here I had done all my letters, so I started again, and here I played very differently. I mean, these two are very similar, but different approaches. So here I tried to draw only with a credit card. Obviously, the eyes, the nose, and the mouth were drawn with this fine micron, I think, pen, but everything else was drawn with the credit card. You can see how I used it to draw the face, the hair, and the t-shirt. Here I first put on the color also with the credit card, but then I used a similar approach than I did earlier with Liam. I scratched the face, so you can see here the face. I scratched the eyes, I scratched the mouth, and then I came back with paint, and I put on the paint for the hair with a credit card, and that's why it looks. And I like the way the hair look. And I just went back with a marker to have the eye to finish the eye and the nose and the brows. And we're coming to the last page. Here I tried again to use some pastel and color paints in sepia and different reddish colors. It's sad that the background is so strong, so the orange dots probably I shouldn't have done them. I should have left it, but I think I started them at the very beginning of this booklet without having the face on it. But yeah, I like the way it is, and because it's pastel, I took a hairspray to have the color stick and not go somewhere else. And Danny, again, this is a funny story actually, because this is based on a portrait that I found in an old book, and it's probably a Renaissance type of man. Actually, I think it was a man that I portrayed. But because of the long hair and the waves in the hair, and because I used oil pastel, and my oil pastel, I can't be so precise, they're a bit too thick. I probably would have to make them thinner, to have a thinner point. Dani looks like a woman. That's why I chose the name Dani. Dani could be Danielle, or it could be Daniela, or it could be Danielle, female name. So Dani can be anything, and I wanted to keep that way. So we have here Dani. So this is my my faces art journal. I don't know if you have any favorite. If you have, let me know, and write it down below in the comment section. That's my favorite, by the way. Bye bye!